my birthday, my dad decided to take me on a hike, me and him, to Round Top Peak, the highest peak around. So we're gonna do that today, and we're all leathered up and ready to go, so yeah. The trailhead headed out of there into McColumney Wilderness. It was pretty cool. It was kind of like on the side of a hill. There's a little trail going through it with very little shade. So on the way up there, only like a half an hour out of the parking lot, I was talking to my dad about this TV show, Survivor Man, that I liked and I've watched, and it's like my favorite TV show. And how he takes a little tripod and holds it to his hip, and it's out in front of his face. So everywhere he goes, it shows his face. So I told him about that, and my dad was like, "That sounds kind of cool." So we tried it out, and yeah, it was pretty sweet.
It's kind of funny, though, because I used a heavy camera on it, so it was kind of hard to hold the tripod up against my hip. And after reviewing it later on, Jennifer said it looked like I was pushing a shopping cart while I was doing it. So I think I need to use a smaller camera and make it a little easier to hold the camera for that. That would be really hard, pushing a shopping cart up that trail. But I guess it'd be a good way to be able to carry all your stuff.
That trail went up to Lake Winnemucca Lake.
It's just a beautiful lake. It's just so clear and just looked like a really nice lake for our family to go to sometimes, because it was probably in the hundreds down in the valley, but up there it was probably in the 70s, so it was 70s and 80s, so it was just really nice. And there's a nice little beach going into it, and just beautiful lake.
There was a trail that went to the right for Round Top Lake, and that was a lot longer than I expected. It was pretty long. It was kind of disappointing because I wanted it to be a little faster to get there because I was hungry. I wanted to eat my sandwich. When we eventually got there, we ate, and we took probably like a half an hour, 45-minute break at that lake, and we were at the bottom of Round Top Peak. You could see the peak from where we were, and it looked pretty intimidating, and it was pretty hot, and it was pretty high already, so at least I was having, the elevation was taking a toll on me.
I kind of thought that if we refueled there, we might be able to get up to the top, and then coming back down, it would be easier. So we finished eating, and we didn't get started quite as early as we would have liked to. So it was getting a little later, and I wasn't totally sure if we were going to get up to the top or not, because it did look a ways off and pretty steep, and didn't know if we'd have time really, and I felt tired anyway.
We started heading up, and once we got into this little thing where there's two trails that go off to the right, but they both ended up meeting up at the same place, of course, we wanted to take the shorter way, but we didn't really notice it was this harder way. So we took the harder way, and that was kind of a bad decision. We got up there, and then we got to this little rest spot, and from that little rest spot on, it started being a break every like 20 feet, because we were already up in like the 9,000 or probably 10,000 feet elevation. As we started going up, the air started getting thinner, and it was not as easy to breathe. And me and my dad would be talking to each other. We're almost there. What? Never mind. Because it's so hard to talk. You just don't really want to waste the rest of your breath to try to spit out like 4 more words. And there were this other group of backpackers that told us the right way to go, not to go on the right side, because it's just like free climbing the side of a cliff, basically, if you go that way. So we went the way they told us to, and going up, it kind of curves all the way up this very steep thing. It's not even like a compacted trail either. It's just a trail that someone else walked on, and then someone else after that, and just kept on going. So it was pretty loose, like dirt and ground up rock and like really loose rock and stuff. Not very many big rocks or stones or boulders or anything like that. So when we finally got to the place that you actually had to go through the ridge to get up onto the actual mountain, that was a lot more intense. That was more like a break every 10 feet, because just the higher you got, just the harder it was to breathe. And that was pretty trippy, because you're already up at like 10,000 feet and looking down. And, if you fall off one way, you're done. You fall off the other way, you're done. And to add on to that, it was a big, strong breeze. But we continued up it, and there's a false peak and a real peak, and we wanted to get to the real peak, but then we saw the fact that there wasn't enough time, and the way you had to do it was basically a 90-degree angle you had to climb up to get to the actual peak. It was so cool. When we got up there, it was really cool. You could see a lot. You could see like a little bit of Lake Tahoe and like a billion other lakes and stuff like that.
We could see just 360-degree views and just beautiful lakes all over the place, peaks all over the place, valleys, and it just turned out to be a really nice hike. It took a little longer than we thought, but it was really cool getting up to the top of it. Today, me and my dad were going to hike up to the highest mountain around that we could see in Northern California area. So we did, and now we're up here. It's very amazing. It's like, if you fall anyway, you're done. And you can see like a lot of lakes and a lot of different mountains and different peaks and stuff like that. It's pretty sweet. We're on the false peak right here. I believe that's the real peak over there, but from what I understand, you got to practically rock climb with ropes to go down a big crevice and then come back up. We'll probably go take a look at it and see what's going on, but it's really not much higher than where we're at right now, but we'll check it out. We've got 360-degree views here, just all over the place. Beautiful.
It's just pretty, like, intense how high you had to go and the little ridges we went on. So we sat out there probably for like a half an hour, 45 minutes-ish, and took some footage and stuff, and we took it like around, like, panorama view and stuff like that. We started going back down. It was a lot easier getting back down than it was up, that's for sure, because it makes it a little easier to talk, but it's kind of harder on your knees, so that was kind of getting tiring, and we stopped for like probably like 5 minutes and just drink some water and stuff. And by that time I had not drinking enough water, and I had a dehydration headache for the next 2 days, so that kind of stunk, but I don't know, it was worth it. So 2 years ago, the last time we went on a big hike, me and my dad, I was a lot younger, and my voice hadn't changed. It was still pretty high.
All right, well, today we are at Pyramid, on the Mount Ralston Trail, trying to get up to Pyramid Peak, or Mount Ralston, whichever one we feel like going to, which I think we'll probably want to get to Pyramid Peak, because we tried doing that last time, the last 2 times, but didn't really conquer it, so yeah.
My voice kind of sounded like this, but yeah, it was pretty trippy how much different I was.
For more video blogs or adventure films, check us out on our Facebook page at Christian Adventure Films, Inc. or at YouTube at www.youtube.com/user/Christian Adventure. Thank you for watching.